Okay. Oh boy. Hello, it is me. We go and try speedrunning today. Oh geez. I've been playing Romancing Saga 3 for quite some time now, and I was thinking to myself, wow, it takes me forever to beat this game. Like, way too long. And then as I started to beat the game more and more, I realized that, there was some efficiency to gain, and I was, oh, okay, yes, great. So I figured I would take a stab at a little speed run and see how I'm doing as an individual. So I'm like, okay, cool, great. So here's me gonna speed run Romancing Saga 3. Oh my goodness gracious. So what do we know about Romancing Saga 3? Well, if you've been watching me stream Saga Frontier Remastered, you will know that the concept is virtually the same, except in this situation, New Game Plus, I retain abilities or arts for everyone if they've been mastered. Then I just need to recruit the characters, equip the arts, and then they're good to go. I also retain all the items that I had before, again, similar to Saga Frontier Remastered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run myself to a location, get all the items that I need for the end game, then just run through the game real quick. I thankfully have splits up, so that kind of gives a rundown of what's happening. My in-game party is Nora Ward Rook Black Hall. Because you can have a max party of 6, my hero, and then 5 additional people. I do this on purpose so that I go into commander mode. Commander mode allows the party to act based on what you give them as instructions, but then they do what they desire. So I've picked characters who will use powerful arts that I've equipped and don't do anything else real silly. Also, commander mode gives people the chance to regen twice at the end of a turn. So they'll regen once if I have a regenerative item, and then they'll regen again because commander mode. This also works because if a character is knocked down in battle, they will revive with 1 HP, which bypasses having to heal them technically, because there's a chance that they can block, and if they block on the turn after they were downed, then not that big of a deal. I'll explain a little bit about the game as I go, but primarily I just want to get into a groove. The beginning, really boring because it's a prologue. I'll explain more of the game from there. Then there's a lot of running to get stuff. Then there's going to be a grind time. And then after that, it's just literally beat the game as fast as possible. So I feel like it's slow, medium pace, slow, then real fast. Basically, I got to kill, 7 bosses in 45 minutes, I think, is the end of the game. So we will definitely see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to use Khalid. It doesn't matter who you use, but if you look at all I basically do a main file and a backup file for each character. So if I start with the very back, I originally did Katarina. Then we have Mikhail. We also have Monica. We have Ellen, Khalid, Julian. And then I'm working on Sarah currently. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But I said, I can take a little break, do a speed run. So my old, fast was 4 hours, 57 minutes. Then with Julian, I was an hour slower because I think I lost track of time. So, yeah. But my Sarah file is moving along really quickly. I'm actually grinding before the 2-hour mark, which I think is pretty fast. And I think I can get the grind done in an hour. So hopefully I can beat this in 4 hours. That's my goal for myself. Under 4 hours. I think that's pretty legit. So anyway, we're going to pick my most recent clear file, which is Julian. Because why not? And then we will go from there. So, let's go ahead and get this party started. We're going to do Julian in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, nope. Again, I'm not a speedrunner. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let me pick my character first. I'm gonna get there, I promise. Oh wait, Khalid has an army scene. I forgot about that. I should have picked Julian as my character, but whatever. We're doing Khalid. All right, let's get Khalid set up. Jeez Louise. Okay. I'm ready now. It's okay. Little hiccups never hurt anybody. 3, 2, 1. Go! Yay! So the beginning of the game is the same for everyone except for 2 characters. Then there's a bit of a blend where there's a split between 5 characters and 3 characters, and then there's a split between 2 characters and everybody else. Like, it's very straightforward. But essentially, Godwin is a jerk and is trying to take over the throne of Loan Castle, which is not good for our Marquis, Mikhail. Great. So the Marquis' sister, Monica, decides to ride a horse into the rain and go find him. Great. And then her horse decides, I'm tired. Girl, get off me. And so she gets to a location that has all of our other heroes. So it has Julian, Thomas, Ellen, Sarah, and... Oh, man. Khalid, hello. The one I'm playing with. The one that's missing is Katarina. Katarina shows up by herself in her own playthrough. You can't recruit her any other way. But she does make a cameo performance in Khalid and Mikhail's runs, where they fight inside of the castle, Loan Castle. The other 5 will take Monica to Podorui, which is where the vampire Leonid lives, and then you do a little bit of extra. For Khalid is going to go back to Loan Castle with Mikhail because he's a mercenary. He's the tornado. He's the baddest in the land. Cool beans. And then Mikhail and Khalid team up with Katarina to take on the demon that is sitting on the throne. After that, everyone goes their separate ways, which is where the game officially opens up. And that's what I call the prologue. So once we actually clear through all this intro stuff, that is the prologue. Yay, the game is open. We got to ride in a boat. We got to open up locations on the map because they're just not readily available. You got to ride a boat or someone has to tell you about it. Yay. So from there, we'll begin our journey, which is we need to recruit our in-game characters. We need to complete a few side quests just for some power, but also to advance the story. And then we're actually going to take on our first boss, with no grinding whatsoever. Our damage is super high. As long as the boss isn't a jerk, we'll be okay. Enemies aren't jerks because this game has the battles elevate based on how much you actually fight. So if you aren't fighting, they're going to be low level, which is easy for you to clear. But the forced encounters are going to be set monsters. They're set difficulty. You just got to be careful with those. The bosses, the 4 Sinistrals, are the same. Story-wise, we have to learn about the 4 Sinistrals because there are gates that are affecting the world. An astronomer is going to let us know that. And then we have to take on those gates so that the world does not go into chaos. After that, we learn that, there's extra stuff going on here. So we're going to have to actually get ourselves to the final location and then kick the crap out of a boss. So, start of the game, I don't equip anything in particular because there is nothing to equip. What we do have to keep in mind is characters are not equipped with anything. So all I do, because Khalid's in front, is I make sure that Khalid gets an AoE attack, Mirage Blade in this scenario, so that way all these weak monsters get defeated. Also, already losing time because I'm running into monsters. They shouldn't be in my way, they should move. They should go away, but they won't. So with everyone else, I'm just going to cry myself to sleep. Should have done this first. Now, normally I set up commander mode just right off the gate, but because my party is not strong, I'm not going to commander mode just yet. But we will, I promise. Yeah. I usually get through this with 0 encounters, so the fact that I got like 3 or 4 is heart-wrenching, to say the least. Okay, we're about to get into a fight, so I'm going to fix this fight real quick. I did not put on Doppelslasher with Khalid. I probably should have, but, you know, here we are. First, you know, run, getting ourselves set up here. And I will not have to worry about the attacks of others. I just need to deal enough damage. So here's to hoping that Julian goes next. No, because Sarah's fast. There we go. Wow, 2300 damage. That's super high. It gets even higher. And wow, I got a Phoenix hairpiece, of course. In a speedrun, that's when you get stuff. I've never actually gotten a drop from that boss. Alright, congratulations. We have made it through the first part of the prologue. So our main cast of people plus the Marquis. Congratulations. The person missing, like I mentioned, is Katarina. She's already in the castle. She actually gets put in jail because the throne gets, you know, usurped by a demon. And the people that are trying to go against the king or the Marquis decide to put her in jail. And then she sets herself free. And then she runs into Khalid and Mikhail, and then they take on the demon. So here he's going to talk about, hey, go to Leonid. Hey, everyone, make sure she doesn't get, you know, bitten by a vampire. We would like her not to be a vampire in the future. Cool beans. Leonid is my favorite character, but because it takes so long to get to him, there is no reason for me to go and get him in this file, unfortunately. But he's super cool. He's also not great for commander mode, so that's also a reason why I don't pick him. He has a one-hit kill move, but it, you know, doesn't work on bosses, and I don't want him to use it. Hooray. Now, I did mention there is a special part. There are actually 2 special things in the game that are basically command or army fights, and then there's trading. I'm not doing this, obviously, because speedrun. But there will be, I think there's 1 army fight with Khalid, whereas Mikhail has to go through enough army fights to unlock Bune's domain. That's why I'm not playing with Mikhail. But I forgot that Khalid has an army fight, so I'll just have to suffer through the first one. There is a sword I can get with Khalid that's not applicable to anyone else, but because it's so out of the way, I don't. And Khalid, being the leader, needs to be out of the main squad of 5. That way, we'll be able to, you know, make people attack automatically instead of me having to pick 5 commands. Even if the 5 commands are fast, it's just simpler to just tap 1 button. So now we're going into an army fight. Woo woo. Here's my first little save. I'm actually going to save over this. My very first file. So these are army fights. We're actually fighting goblins. Woo woo! So we only have 2,000 soldiers, whereas the goblins have 4,000. But we're going to get some help. Sin. Doing pretty good. This is good. They've only lost goblins. We haven't lost anyone. And now we're going to do this. But the person that they were afraid of going against them was Radon, but Radon actually came to help. Yay. And then we won. But there are, if you play with Mikhail has this feature for a lot of fights. And, well, it's pretty hard. So there's a lot of fun, optional content there. Not any achievement associated with it if you play on the PlayStation. But, hey, fun is fun. Oh, I thought there was only one. Okay, well. Good to know. I remain under the impression that horse riders are weaker than foot soldiers, but I have not investigated this mechanic at all to know what's good and what's not. My main goal is just get through this. I'll just let him run. Follow after me! Alright, so we're going to get Mikhail to use, I believe it's called Southern Cross, yeah? Gotta avoid these enemies. Yeah, get out of my way, please. Oh, come on. Alright, come on, Katarina. This is Katarina. She actually, I think the skill level of a weapon or magic might be 50 in this game. I have not tested that or confirmed it. But Katarina actually is maxed out. Like, she's great. Here we go. So here's the demon. This is gonna end the prologue. Not until the whole scene is done, but we'll get there. Ta-da! Katarina has a magical weapon that turns into a great sword when you use its ability. Woo. There we go! And that is the end of our prologue. Once they're done talking and everyone's ready to go, then we will get started. I guess I could do the split once the boss dies, if I were to do this in the future. Okay. Here we go. It's time. So first things first, we're going to pick up Ellen. So Ellen gets into a fight with Sarah because Sarah's going to Pedona with Thomas. Ellen's going to come with Khalid. They're going to go to Lance. We're going to go to Lance later. So we got to make a little pit stop into Mayul's. Because there's a boat here. And the boat is going to take us where we need to go. Which is technically Zweig. But then we have the chance to deviate from that. And this is where the we pick up to medium pace in the game comes from. Because we got to do boat traveling. That's right, travel by boat is quite slow. Once you have the area open, then you can just travel by the world map. Our journey is going to be unlocking a few of the places, and then we're going to do the sequence. So it'll be get Nora, then the Gone side quest, then we'll have enough people to get Ward, then we'll go from there. It'll start to move rather quickly, but that prologue is just awful. Because we're already in Zweig, I'm going to go ahead and get the world map stuff. So this person right here actually opens up Kjerdland. This is how we get Paul in the future. Kjerdland also gets Justurm into Lance. So ignoring the plan of action, we're going to hit Pedona first. Then from Pedona, we're going to go to Great Arch to Ache to Kjerdland, to Justurm, to Lance, then to Pedona again to get Vanguard, a few more places, and then we'll get started. Oh, and here I am. I just said it. So we're going to go to Great Arch first. Little time lost, little inefficiency. We technically could start and get Nora now, but I like to get the world map shenanigans out the way. That way I don't have to do it any longer. There are a few places I have to travel to based on sequencing. So I would prefer to just do them when I need to unlock them, instead of just automatically open them. But Great Arch is one that is easier to access from the world map because you go from one top level and then you just head down the map to it. So for me, it's easier to do that rather than go all the way to Pedona and then ride a boat to it. You'll see what I mean. The Forneus side quest, to get to Forneus, is like a crazy long adventure. That's the one that's the least fun. We're also going to Ryblov. Ryblov has the desert, which is what I'm going to unlock now. That way, when we need to go get Rook, we'll just go right to the desert and start running east. Oh yes, the Speedrunner Nightmare, also known as NPCs. There's a person right there that opens a world map slot for Khalid, but we're not going to take it because Khalid is not going to be in my main party. And the other sword that I have, I just talked to this person twice, the other sword that I have is stronger, so there's no point to have it in my arsenal. Alright, so we exit. There's Nosh Desert. You gotta head west 3 screens. That's going to get us to the tower, which has its own side quest and very interesting story. However, we just need the tower to be unlocked so we can learn about the desert, and then we'll leave. Welcome to the Arc Lord Tower. So here, east of the desert gives us the flowing sands. So if we head east 3 times, we'll get flowing sands. That's how we start technically the end game, but we need to bypass that so we can get some sands. I'm also going to the land now so that I can talk to someone and get the Mount Taftan unlocked. I could come back here later because I have to do Loan for Mikhail to unlock Bune's lair, but here I am, doing it anyway. I gotta think about routing in the future. Oh yes, so we're gonna go back to Zweig area to get to Kjerdlund. We're gonna go talk to Nina. Nina is how we learn that Paul is not doing good things. So when we meet Paul, we'll send him back to Nina, but we have to actually defeat one of the Sinistrals before Paul will appear. That's why in the tracking, Alice's comes first, then Paul. Welcome to Jester. Ward is in Jester, but so is Lance. So Ward is over there. We'll get Ward later. Lance is where both Khalid and Ellen reside, as well as a side quest. But we're actually here to start the Sinistrals. We learn from the philosopher here about the Sinistrals. So the Abyss Gates have opened, or they're being opened. And so the Sinistrals would like to, destroy the world, RPG stuff. You hear our philosopher friend is like, hey, a death eclipse happened, an eclipse covered the sun, ta-da, Abyss Gates, evil things, we need to go and find them and stop them. So we gotta go to 4 locations. We gotta go to fight Aunus in the Fire Temple, which is in the jungle, which is where Ache is located. We also have Bune on Mount Taftan, which is near Loan. We also have Forneus' Gate, which is in the water, which deals with Vanguard. And then Pidona actually has one of the Sinistrals. So if you think about difficulty, one of them is literally available to you at the start of the game. Arcfiend Palace, that's right. So that is definitely the one to go to first. It is the easiest of the bosses, in my opinion. Alright, there's technically only one more location to take a boat to, and that is, I just forgot the name of it. But you need to go there because it's in chain with the Forneus questline. What is that place called? Yarmouth. So Yarmouth is not on the map right now, and it also doesn't open when we're told about it. I know, very strange. So So usually, like, I've talked to people and they're like, hey, northwest of here is Kirdlin. And you're like, great. And then Kirdlin appears. When they tell me about Yarmouth, it should just pop up, because in the Forneus side quest, or quest line, sorry, in the Forneus quest line, when you need to have Vanguard moved by water, and you need the Gimbu sorcerers, you are told about Mazos, which is south of Vanguard. Mazos then becomes available from that conversation. But Yarmouth is not available when the pub owner informs you that that's where the dolphin statue was sold. It's a little bit of inconsistency, but that is life. We are ready to do the shenanigans. So I gotta set up for this, and then we are ready to get the ball rolling. Very excited. Here we go. So we're actually going to let my air quote temporary party do nothing, but I'm going to withdraw the good stuff. So I'm just going to take a couple of bombs just in case. Petrifier, you never know what could happen. We're also going to take the Bolovas, the Dragon Scale Blades, the Sledgehammer, the Mortus, and the Will Guards. Armor, we're going to take all Kuryu armor, 1 reinforced suit, and then we'll take all fancy stuff, like Troll Stones, Expert Rings, and Master Rings. Item-wise, I'm just going to take Mind Salts. I don't know how many I need. And some barrier sticks. I probably don't even need that many, but we'll see. So what we're going to do is we're going to outfit the party as we get them. We don't need to outfit the others. There's really no point. On that little girl, Tatiana, but she goes by different dessert names. She has a story and remastered inside of the Phantom Maze, but she is one character that will chase you down and add herself to your party. So beware if it's your first time playing. We just met Nora. She ran out of the shop. So if you look up on top of the wall, there is an imprint of a weapon there. Unfortunately, the blacksmith who made this shop was murdered after trying to find the matriarch's spear that was stolen from them. We know, or we learn, who steals it through a couple of quests. But Nora's goal is to get the spear back. Yay, Nora! So we're going to go with Nora and try to get the spear back. Instead of actually getting the spear, we're just going to keep her. Cool, character 1, we got Nora. Yay, Nora. So Nora is my club user. I'm going to equip the wards that I do not ever want to be hit by. I don't even think most of them appear at this point, but, you know, here we are. So I just equipped Nora with Seismic Strike. She's going to be my front character in formations to take out the easier and forced encounters. But then I'm going to be switching her to my middle slot, where she will reduce enemy defense by 50%, and then my 2 offense characters will go in front. But until I get that set up, I need to use Nora as my point person. We're also picking up Sarah. She's extremely weak, and she also doesn't like to use arts. However, I need her to fill my party. We also talked to Thomas because we should recruit Thomas. However, Thomas has something to do. So instead of, you know, helping us out, he's going to walk around town. So we're going to trigger some spots for Thomas to walk. And then after Thomas walks to Old Pidona, we're going to follow him. Because we're creepy. That lady is in my way. Move. Hey, Hey, look, Thomas. Where you going, Thomas? At this point, when we go inside the building that Thomas is in, he actually force joins the party. So there's no unnecessary conversation. He just joins the party. This is also the location of two other characters. Charles, our ex-Rune Knight in front, and Muse, our weaponless diva. You know? So, hey, guess what? We should absolutely not recruit either of them because Muse has really low stamina, so she's quite difficult to raise up, and Charles has an opportunity, we'll say, a likeliness of using magic instead of spear. I've also dumped spear users from my party altogether because I'm tired of them. They irritate me. Even though Peony is my homegirl, little fairy, ooh, love her. Okay, so we found out that the kids went to the Arcfiend Palace. How dare they? So we need to go rescue... Oh. Whoops. Well, whoopsie. I picked up Nora, forgot to split. But we actually need to go get Gone now and save the child from the evils of these monsters. My formation is going to be the dragon because it increases damage and my people go super fast. So remember, Nora goes in front, everyone else can just chill out. The goal here is to run into, I think, 2 enemies at most. Preferably 0, you know, but hey, here we are. So here's my first fight. One of those enemies flies, so that's lame. Also, if you look at the design, air quote design of the characters, you can see that Charles is casting a spell because his hands are up. If they're attacking, they kind of lean forward. Nora gained HP. Rejoice, everyone, rejoice. Nora being in the party early is very good because she has the opportunity to get startup HP. She is my lowest... What is she? She is my lowest stamina character in my final party. So it is very important. She's my benchmark for going to Endgame. She has to be the one to get health. So we saved Gong. However, that would be too easy. We're actually going to go deeper into Arcfiend Palace. Gasp! We have a child with us. That's child endangerment. We should be in prison. But, you know, this is how you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm about to get into a fight. This is my 3rd fight. Also, I forgot to set power offense so that Nora will one-hit things. My bad. Okay. I thought Nora had higher... Hold on. Okay, it's still 40. I don't know why that damage... She usually does like 2200. I'm not sure why it's doing so little, but here we are. I'm actually okay with this. This, again, it gives a chance for Nora to get some health. Go her. So we're deeper and deeper. What we need to do, there is a 2-parter with Alice's. Alice's requires a ring. Alice's wants a ring, you know, hey, marriage, what's up? So instead of letting us in immediately, we actually need to go talk to the matriarch descendants after we talk to Alice's door. Big bummer. So this is why immediately run down after getting gone, because you don't have to come back here 3 times. You only have to come back here twice. Love that for us. Also, I don't mind this encounter specifically because when we defeat them, we don't have to worry about fighting them or potentially running into them because the door is above where we're standing. Nora goes first. 4 of these monsters will go down. Only one of these monsters is weak to Gimbu, so that's why I don't like using Thomas. And here's the door. The Ring. This is very much Lord of the Rings. That monster in the middle is actually higher level than what we're at right now. Level being, we'll say, difficulty. So it's good to avoid it because it will just one-hit someone. Unless it uses tackle, then we will avoid it because I have the reward for tackle. Next, we have our first forced encounter. Yay us. Pretty much just wanting for Nora to go first. That's it. End of game. Yay, we did it. This is one of many teleporters in the game. Of course, everyone gained HP but Nora, thanks. This is one of the many teleporters in the game. This one will actually get us back to that spot in the Arcane Palace so we don't have to walk down anymore. Unfortunately, the goblin decided to not agree with me, so I'm just going to have to fight again. And what happens here, Charles actually leaves the party after you leave the Arcane Palace. So if you need to outfit him, make sure you take his stuff off. He will come back one more time if you do a side quest. I'm going to do the side quest. But for me, I don't need him. So when he comes back, he'll just be the same as he was before. Also, Charles has an interesting quirk about him that makes him less desirable. His stats are reduced until you get the matriarch item for him. However, the matriarch item allows someone to attack twice, so yeah, it's much more beneficial to give it to someone like Black. I should go to the end, but I'm not going to. Alright, now that we have done, we're going to do Ward. So if you look at my party right now, I have 5 characters. I need 6. Looks like Ward's turn has come. Again, we're trying to just get in-game characters as we go. So next is Ward. Hello, Ward. How are you doing? Ward is my sword user, number 1. Later on, Ward will get a Master Ring, but I need to get another item first. That's why Nora's damage wasn't right. She's not equipped with the right thing. Aha! We learned.
I'm going to square to the
There we go. Okay, now my damage is fixed. Go! This is a forced area. You can only go here with Ward. As soon as you recruit Ward, you'll be taken here, so make sure you're prepared for that. If you're not, then you can grind the enemies that are in this area until you feel a little bit stronger to take on the boss. Yay for you. I'm gonna run from this one. Oh, I tried to beat it. I tried to outface it. I did not outface it. I was one off. Alright, here's our forced encounter number 2. This is technically a mini boss. It should die in 2 hits. This is also why I gave Ellen a stronger attack, because Nora cannot kill everything. Hey look, we're done! Oh, hold on. Come back. Yay, we have Ward. Alright, now we're going to do the hardest part of the beginning of the game, and that is go to the desert. There's one encounter here that's pretty awful. And that is the encounter that blocks you from going into the desert. The flowing sands, if you will. So we're going to do head east 3 times. Then we're going to go into the flowing sands, fight a forced encounter, hopefully not die. Then make our way through the flowing sands to get to the Desert of Death. Desert of Death leads to the Great Plains. And then Great Plains would be Moenge Village, the Nefti tribe, the Zuan location, and then the North Plains. I don't know what it's called. So here's our next forced encounter. Please do not kill me. These are higher tiered enemies, so it is quite possible to die. I'm also missing an ability here, but I hope that they can just win. I'm hoping that Sarah and Thomas can kill it. We'll see. Also, you just saw Ward do 5,800 damage. That's why we like sword users. This doppelganger is awesome. Okay, someone's gonna die. Nope, they attacked Ward. Yay me. You also got to see the healing animation there. I healed twice with Nora and Ward. That's why we set them up. Yes, Nora gained HP. Thank you, universe. If we get into a fight here, we get into a fight. There's truly no way around it. You run much slower in the sand, so you're kind of just banking on not running into stuff. Sand fishies versus you. This is a pretty lengthy side quest, so this is like long side quest number 2, whatever, where we have to recruit Rook, but we have to do the endgame pathway quest first. So what happens, once we get to the Great Plains in the Moenge village, we learn from Bai Meinyang that she would like to study magic, so she's going to remove one of the magic characters from your party, the one that's strongest, which is Thomas, and will be replaced by Ziling, who is a bow user. Very good character. Bow users are great. So she'll be a temporary character, where I will be using her millionaire to take out all of the enemies that I run into. Yay. And then after that, she lets us know that there's a potential abyss gate. So we go to close it, only to find out that that's not where the abyss gate's located. It's actually located elsewhere. Woo! But that location does not open until we defeat the 4 abyss gates that already exist. And at this time, we've cloned approximately 0. That's correct. There is a location here called the Crystal Ruins. You can get some cool stuff here and fight some cool dragons. But we're not here to hunt items. We're here to defeat this game. Welcome to the Great Plains! The enemies here aren't aggressive, which is a big plus because I do not like being chased. What we're going to do is we're actually going to put Ziling in front now. Nora will still keep Seismic Strike, but Z-Ling will go to front because Millionaire is way better. We're going to lose Thomas, which is fine, like I said. And then we're going to get started. So here's Mei Miang, sorry. Faye would love to learn about magic. That's why she snatches away our character. In the meantime, we're going to go talk to the Nefti tribe. Unfortunately, they're being attacked by monsters, so we're going to defeat the monsters and then talk to them, learn that the north is where the drama is coming from. And then we're going to get arrested and then go take out the north, which is actually a suit of armor. That's not a joke. It's actually a suit of armor. One of the 3 Arcfiend pieces in the game. Also, I need to be really careful about this approach because I was doing a run and I actually deleted the armor. I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention, maybe I broke something, but I could not find the armor. And it's very helpful because it makes you immune to basically all of the magic and a couple of other things like status effects. So it's very good. I always put it on black, but yeah. Hopefully she doesn't get knocked out. Please don't knock out my homegirl. Thank you so much. Okay, force fight number 3. As long as she goes first, we're okay. Millionaire looks super cool. Hello, Khalid. Looks super, super cool. And we win. We got to do that one more time. Also, Nora gained health. Yay. Do note that these monsters, the Zelnam tribe, they are higher tiered than other monsters. They will actually potentially kill 3 characters if they go first. The 3 in the middle, usually with Lightning Pierce. So I'm always hoping that Z-Ling goes first. Alright, here's the hard part. Can I make it? Oh, yes. Juking him like I'm on the basketball court. Bam. You can see how much damage it does. Thank you. I'm not good at dodging in this game. I get sniped by birds. Like, they will take me out. So, it's not the end of the world if we get into a fight because these monsters are not difficult. But, time loss. Alright, now we're learning that the north is where we need to go. Yes, this game does have battle rank like the other games. The forced encounters are what they are, so if they're hard as heck, they're hard as heck. The other enemies are going to be that lower tier, starter enemies, and then they'll gradually progress. There are certain areas in the game that have set monsters that aren't really based on anything, so when we get to the 4 Sinistrals, their minions don't have a battle rank, and I do abuse the minions to gain stats, but the only stat I have to work on in New Game Plus is health, because for some reason, in Romancing SaGa 3, they said, you know what? Health? No one needs that, but you kind of do. Hi, hello, thank you, welcome to the stream. So unlike like Saga Frontier Remastered, Saga Frontier, I think Saga Frontier 2 doesn't do it either, but Saga Frontier Remastered, they actually allow you to keep health in New Game Plus, which I think is broken, but I approve. I'm not disagreeing. However, this game becomes a little bit more difficult because it's not like you need to learn or glimmer/spark new abilities. It's also not like you need to gain more equipment. You literally get the gear that you had before, and what I've noticed is characters start to get a lot more like weapon levels just from doing New Game Plus. Like my best character had like 42 in bow, we'll say, or spear. And then when I did the next playthrough, one of the main characters went up to like 36 when they were previously like 7. And then over time, they've just gradually gotten stronger and stronger. Where if we look at Thomas in the party, he has like level 40 and everything. But I've never used Thomas. I think that's very interesting. However, I don't like to use the main cast anyway, because I don't. But I technically could use Julian because, you know, Julian is really high in sword, but I like the stats that I have with the characters, so I just don't use the main characters anymore. Shrug. So I didn't talk about what just happened, but we learned that the north is the issue. We went back to Bay. She said, hey, I learned about magic. Woo. Also, you can go to Zuon now. I told him about your issue. We go to Zuon, and the General Yang is like, nope, I don't believe you. Go to jail. And then Bay comes back and is like, hey, we have to take care of business. Let them free. And he's like, fine. If you think it's such a big deal, go and do it for us. And so they're like, okay, we'll go and do it for you. So now we're going to the north to figure out what the heck's going on. And then we find a suit of armor. Welcome to the Zelnam Haunt. I'm going to get sniped by these birds. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, I didn't put my party back either. Okay, let's just fix that. Hold, please. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please hold. Most of these enemies are flying, so Nora is truly useless here. But, you know, life. Oh, yeah, they do not go away. They don't. They will continue to stalk you forever. Which is fine. I think it's okay. I'm trying to think. I don't know if... Okay, I do know that Saga Frontier Remastered, they do not disappear either. And then... Or maybe they do, I don't remember. Saga Frontier 2, fleeing is a battle-ending animation, but you don't just get to flee. You have to get to a point of being able to flee from the enemies or, like, force them away. Okay, thank you. I could not remember for SF Remastered. But I know in Saga Frontier 2... you don't get to just flee. You have to kind of make the enemy super weak and then you move them away. And then by completing the battle, you'll get stats and stuff. But yeah. I'm trying to remember Romancing SaGa 2 on the PS2. I don't know how their mechanic works. But anyway, here we are. This area is actually, I would say, the fastest area in the game. These enemies move faster than any other. So once you get through this, you're pretty much okay. Alright, here's the suit of armor. It's evil. We're just going to make sure people have abilities so I can take it out in one turn. Assuming these punks actually use the abilities. Oh, you just got this one! Well, I will tell you, with there being no storyline like the other Saga games, I've at least read from other people, they believe this is one of the hardest games to beat. And I support that because this game is extremely difficult. The final boss in this game is like I did not expect to get my butt handed to me, but I have. This game is very hard for no reason. Okay, so technically at this point, we have the end game unlocked. It's just not available to us until we beat the 4 key bosses. Good news, we can now get Rook. Yay for us. So Rook is an elephant. I always make this mistake. Rook is an elephant, but Rook is actually the tankiest character in the entire game. So knowing about LP, which is life points, Rook has 36 LP. I think the next closest to him is like 14. It's a little bit psychotic. But also his stamina is extremely high, so he gains health very easily. Yay for us. It is time to kick Thomas out of the party. Goodbye, Thomas. You are not helpful for me. I know. There's an ability in this game that drains 1 LP per turn, but boosts all of your stats. It's a magic art. You could technically put it on Rook. However, you don't have control over characters in commander mode, so you would have to revert to a regular fight. Anyway, this is Rook's brother. Rook's brother, in a dream state, we learn that this area exists, and the brother is healed by the Child of Destiny. Sarah happens to be one of the Children of Destiny, so coming here actually brings him out of slumber, and then because the brother is awake now, Rook's like, hey, I can do my own thing, so hey, I'm coming with you. I'm like, woo! And then now we have Rook. Oops, I messed that up. That's okay. Rook's also really slow. He has the lowest speed in the game. But it's okay. It's not at the end of the world. Am I going to get into a fight? I am. I'm thinking if I need to do this formation again, I do, because I'm going to be fighting someone. So the cool thing with this game has formations. The formation will boost different stats. He absolutely makes up for it, and you'll notice when I get to fighting why his speed actually doesn't matter at all. So with the formations in this game, there are certain formations that push you pretty far with your damage. So the dragon formation in particular, I think it boosts the front character's damage by 50%. Ooh, okay, I would say don't do free-for-all. Only because it boosts speed, but it doesn't do anything else. As you get more formations, there's a couple that are really helpful. This is my personal preference. I always do dragon formation because I believe the front character gets 50% attack, the top character gets 25%, and then everyone else is normal. The good news is your front character also gets additional speed boost. Then the top character gets a little speed boost, and then the middle character is normal, the bottom 2 are slow. For what it's worth in this setup that I'm going to do, Rook is very slow. But because he's in the front, it doesn't matter if they attack first or not because he's not going to get killed. Then what happens is Dragon Formation activates and everyone attacks in a row. So you can pretty much chunk down a boss without really getting killed because they're only going to hit you one time, and it's usually the front person. Now, they don't always hit the front person, but if they do, Rook's not going to die. Period. Also, we just saw a scene where someone just got murdered in the night, so we slept there to fight them. These are Forneus' minions. Yay us. Ta-da! Well then, how has the stream been? The streaming is fun. Having a good time with SaGa games, and I am now doing a speedrun, which is something I've never done before. That's at YouTube. I'm usually talking to Twitch. Okay. So, more story stuff. We were ambushed at night. Forneus is attacking people. We need to protect the town. So the town of Vanguard is actually able to move like a fortress. So we're going to figure out how to get Vanguard to move, which starts an entire quest line that also involves a character named Herman. So if you just leave this and go back in, you'll learn that the entrance to activate Vanguard is below the captain's feet, that kind of darker shaded wood. Also, thank you, Reclesis. I have played this game for like 130 hours now. I've been trying to get the platinum trophy on it. It was very casual, but I will tell you backstory. The first time I actually beat this game was about 90 hours total, because I did not know what I was doing, which is most Saga games, but also I got stuck. I didn't realize that formations mattered, and I did not have gear to really defend myself against a dragon, and also I didn't have any strong techs. So all of that combined made for a very unfun moment. I cried a little bit. Actually, I'm just gonna give Ellen an attack. Please work, please work, please work. These enemies are floating, so they don't get hurt by earthquakes. But I used an AoE attack for Ellen. Oh, that's okay. That works. They don't have that much health, so I was hoping Ellen would kill it. If I gave her the Bulova, she would have killed it just fine, but here we are. Another forced encounter down, and it is time to turn on the ship. The Vanguard is now active, but not activated. So we're going to learn over time what makes the Vanguard move. The Vanguard requires a dolphin statue, but the dolphin statue is missing. We learn that the dolphin statue gets stolen by someone. They sold it for a profit. We go to the person who sold the statue, and then they learn that it was stolen by a pirate. Woo. The pirate can be confronted by another pirate named Herman. Unfortunately, we're not going to confront that pirate. We're just going to get the dolphin statue, activate the Vanguard, and then we're going to run away. Because Forneus is insane for no reason. Also, I left accidentally. So you see this room, there's a dolphin statue, there's no statue. It doesn't look like that. Okay, great. We're going to go get the dolphin statue. I also need to kick Sarah. No, I'm going to kick Ellen out of the... who am I kicking out of my party? Should I kick out Ellen or Sarah? This person actually sold the dolphin. So when you're talking to this person, do the last option or hit circle 3 times. And then he'll tell us the Dofor group in Yarmouth has the dolphin. Fine. I already unlocked Yarmouth. It does not unlock through that dialogue. So if you just go up, Yarmouth is right there. Yay. Then we head down inside of the blacksmith shop and talk to the owner. You have to buy something. I just buy the mind salts because I have money. Mind salts are good for restoring all of your SP. I don't need it, but here we are. Cool, I bought something. He says, oh, it was stolen by the pirate Black Sparrow. Cool beans. We learn later on that Black is Herman. Haha. Haha. So now we go to... Oh, I forgot to get rid of my character. It'd be like that sometimes. I forgot to dump. Dump the chump. We're dumping... Sarah? We'll dump Sarah. Goodbye, Sarah. I dumped Sarah because she doesn't like to use bow arts. She has one art equipped. She just shoots the bow sometimes. I'm like, Sarah, you have 100 SP. just shoot the bow. But she doesn't. So, she's done. Now we're going to talk to this dude. Hey, this is Herman. We're trying to get Black Sparrow's treasure. Conveniently enough, he knows where the treasure's located. How would he know if he wasn't, I don't know, Black himself? He also wants to fight Forneus because Forneus stole his age. Oh, we have Herman now. Yes, you can recruit party members back. You just have to know either where you got them originally or... Nope, that's it. That was it. End of thought. So Ellen is recruited in Lance at the top of town. Sarah is actually recruited in the village I just left, Pidona. She's inside of the house next to Tatiana, the pink-haired girl. But yes, you can recruit any character back as long as they're not LP killed. If you LP kill a character, then they're dead. So I am skipping all the treasure and whatnot because I do not need it. Also, Herman is the lowest SP character who is not Leonid the Vampire. And that's because, again, Herman's youth was stolen from him, so his abilities are a little bit diminished. But once you defeat Forneus with Herman in your party, he will transform into Black, and then he'll become more of a viable character. That does not make Herman useless. He's still very strong. What else happens? Oh, the reason why Leonid is the technical lowest LP character is Leonid is a vampire. Vampire with no LP. His specialty is if he dies in battle, as long as you win, he will automatically come back. So he's not dead. Because he's undead. Haha, he's a vampire. This room is tricky. The next room has a blue dragon in it. That is a higher tiered monster. With my current party, it will one-hit any person. So we just have to make sure we don't run into it. Ta-da, we did it. Yay, me. And then I expect to get 2 encounters here before the forced encounter. I hope I don't fight both of these. Come on, Ellen. Yes, there we go. Oh, that sucks. So Ellen needs to go first here. Well, first in my party. All those enemies are going to go before me. But Ellen needs to go first and take them all out. This is also good news. So the reason why I have this set up right now, Nora and Ellen are both faster than Ward, Herman, and Roop. The 3 dudes are quite slow characters, which is why I have this party set up. The faster characters get a super speed boost with the dragon formation. Yay us. And then the slower characters kind of just chill out for a moment. Then we do a role reversal, because they're the ones who are going to output damage at the end. And by end of the game, I mean in like 50 minutes. Actually, it'll be pretty quick from now. I feel like in like 10 minutes, you'll see how strong they are versus the first boss. Then they'll take a little breather because Paul has to kill stuff for a very long time. Okay, so here's the dolphin. Woohoo! It's literally a dolphin. Yay. Very cute. We leave. We go back. We gotta do a little side quest. and this is the second to last time. This is the second of 3 times that we have to go in this basement. It's very annoying, but this is how it works. So we have the dolphin statue. Part 1, you turn on the Vanguard. Part 2, you get it set up for movement. And then part 3, you get magic people to move it. Herein lies our problem. We don't have magic people to move it. So we're going to hire and by hire I mean slave labor, honestly. They do it for free. We get Gimbu sorcerers to move the Vanguard for us. Unfortunately, the Gimbu sorceress leader, Undini, is in a fight with the Shucho sorcerer, Volcano. They actually offer us money separately for us to defeat them. However, they're actually fighting over one particular item. What would happen if we stole the item? Let's find out. Also, you can I used Undini in my first playthrough. She is extremely strong. Her Gimbu magic is like, she starts out as a master class mage. So if you like mages, I recommend getting Undini. She has low HP growth, but her damage is pretty strong. Okay, so we learn here that Mazaz has the Gimbu sorcerers. So now we're going to head down to Mazaz. Mazaz. So I start on the top side of Mazaz because I need to go in the bottom part to get to the pub. So I do the pub part last. Oh look, it's sorcerers. Hey, Nora got health. And so did Herman. Wow. Alright. Yes, so keep in mind that for this game to work appropriately, so you don't consume all of your points, you want to see the crown for a character. The crown works if you have enough SP, but the crown also works if you have enough MP. If you try to hybridize a character, they'll never have a crown. So I believe there's a formula involved. It's like your total of your higher stat minus 1/10 of your lower stat or something. I actually don't know the formula. But if you want a magic user, keep them as a magic user. If you want a physical user, keep them as a physical user. Hybridizing is fine, but it can be a little bit tough to manage your SP if you're playing for the first time. So when you look at my team, and I'll show it just for the time loss, but Herman actually has too much MP. He is a water user, Soryu magic. So I don't ever get a crown on Herman no matter how much SP I have. And he has like 145. But his MP is just too high at this point. And he's never used magic with me, that's just how it happens. So if you look real quick here, you'll see this. So Nora has 143 SP, no MP. She has a crown next to the thing. Ward 166, Rook 145, and then Herman has 155, but it has 39 MP. So there's no crown for Herman. All that means is your character, the cost of an ability. I did this wrong now. The cost of an ability goes down by 1, which is great. Yay. It's not the end of the world if you don't have a crown. But also, when you get the expert ring from the Phantom Maze, it's actually going to cut the cost in half minus 1. So an ability that costs 6, if you get the expert ring, it actually costs 2 instead of 3. So yay, I highly recommend it. So there are some abilities that cost like 10, that cost goes down to 4. Is that right? Yeah, it goes down to 4 at that point. So it's very, very, very helpful. But also, like, when you think about magic and attacks, the magic you're using is almost always offensive. Like, almost always. There's only a few where it's like, this magic can heal, or this magic can cure status effects. We did. So, we yeeted into the well because Undine and Volcano are fighting over something that's in this well. That's why they wanted to kill each other. So what we're doing is we're going to get the thing that's in the well. It's the Arcfiend Shield, the second of the 3 Arcfiend items. And this is actually Herman's shield permanently. So Herman has both the Arcfiend armor and the Arcfiend shield. The Arcfiend armor makes him immune to all status effects and magic. The Arcfiend shield creates a barrier that gives him a chance to completely nullify anything that attacks him. The downside, which is not a huge problem, but the downside is it doubles the cost of your arts. Yikes. Thankfully, the Expert Ring negates that effect anyway. So Herman is going to use an ability that costs 9. It will still cost 9, no matter if he has the Arcfiend stuff, or even if he has the Arcfiend stuff. But what winds up happening is, hey, remember when I agreed to have each of the sorcerers pay me to take the other one out? What would happen if they discovered that I don't know, bamboozled them? Oh, that's right. We tricked them. Now we gotta fight them. They're not extremely hard. They're gonna get killed in one turn, but this is a boss fight, technically. Mini boss, whatever. You'll see why slow characters are great, because if you look at the damage, you'll see it's like almost 6,000, I think. 5,000 damage with, I just started, keep that in mind. I just started, they have no health, but the 2 in the back are doing 5,000 damage. Cool beans. So now they're like, okay, fine, we're not going to fight anymore, sorry about that. Now we can continue on our adventure, which is getting the sorcerers to help me move this big old boat. And by boat, I mean town. But it might as well be a boat. Like a ship. A rock ship. Like the whale in Digimon Frontier. So thank you, Undine. Her sorcerers are going to go do their thing. Appreciate that. Now, we're not going to activate the boat just yet, because that would be smart. Instead, we're going to go to Alice's, our first Sinistral. It's going to use a barrier stone. If I could find it. Alright, here we go. This is the fun part. So, we already went into Arcfiend Palace. We are... Oh, I forgot. Good thing I just remembered. So, I forgot to go back to Lance and get the Matriarch Ring. So when you go down into the Arcfiend Palace, Alice says, "The ring!" because Lord of the Rings. And so you got to talk to the descendant of the matriarch, and the descendant's like, "Whoa, you went to the bottom of the palace? You need the ring for the door? Okay, here's the ring. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that." So, hey, now I am Frodo. It's me. I'm Frodo. I have the ring now. The good news about this ring is it gives you after turn regeneration. It's very nice to have. It also makes you immune to fainting, which means if an enemy is going to knock you out with a one-hit kill like Reaper's Scythe, you will not die. You will just avoid it altogether. So it's a good item to have, honestly. It's a substitute for the Troll Stone, which you get near the end of the game if you go to the sub-area called the Rotten Sea. I have Troll Stones on top of the Royal Ring. That way my whole party gets double regen, which you'll see in the final boss fight. I just went the wrong way. Love that for me. Alright. So we're going to get into Alice's Palace. This broken down, busted Arcfiend Palace. Nope, nothing lives here but monsters. There's clearly nothing scary or violent or destructive in this area. No, that's crazy. Oh, all these enemies fly. That's not fair. Fine. Ellen, you're up. Tag, you're in. I should have just went for it. Yikes. Okay. The ghost in the back flies, but Ellen can take out the rest. Ooh. Ellen. MVP. Getting kicked out the party as soon as I beat this boss. Okay, we made it. Look, a teleporter. What's going to happen next? Oh, that's right. There's an entire fortress beneath this area. Crazy. If you jump into the center, a crystal will teleport you to the area leading into the boss. Wow, that's convenient. This is actually the fastest Sinistral. Like I said, beginning of the game, it's the easiest. It's available to you. Congratulations. So we fight Alice's minions. We get past them. We run up, we max fight 2 enemies here, and then it's time to fight Alice's. And then after beating Alice's, that gets us Paul, and then we have our final party, and that's just end of game until we have to dump someone because the game hates us. My final party actually is 4 people, not 5. But we'll get there. So, we're going to do a switcheroo. Alright, good luck. Hopefully he doesn't kill me. Here's the first gate. So you saw me switch my party around. Essentially what's going to happen, Alice's going to attack someone doing something. I hope it uses Windmill Slash because I'll avoid it with my ward. But then we're going to smash his face in with Double Slasher. Hello, Alice's. How are you doing? Hey, Flailing Spin! That's the attack I wanted it to use. Goodbye, Ellen! It did 567 damage, just to give you a reference point of like why I'm here way too early. But on the first turn, I did 11,000 damage, so am I really that worried? Now, all of these bosses attack twice, so their first attack is guaranteed, then it's going to do a second attack. Hey, look, you hit Herman and killed him. Oops, that's not dead. But guess what? Because we're in commander mode, everyone just revives anyway. Oh look, I used Flaming Spin again? Wow, I guess I'm gonna have to kill you with a Doppelslasher. And then there's 6,000 damage, boom, you die! We win! If only all of the boss fights were that easy. But yes, that Doppelslasher is probably the strongest attack in the game, I think. It's probably on par with Multi-Shot, which is the bow art. Which is, hey, guess what? I'm recruiting a bow user right now. His name is Paul. Paul is OP. If you can... Wait. Dang it. I hope this isn't messed up. I didn't do the pirates. It's okay. The order doesn't... Well, I hope the order doesn't matter. Side quest. Oh, I hope this works. I had a note for this and I forgot. Okay, so there are thieves who are messing up the trade routes. So we have been tasked to take some goods to Yarmouth. Let's see. I have been... How much time? Maybe like 10 hours? Probably? So what I've been doing is I've been just clearing each character, but playing through in an order I see as efficient. And then I don't have notes for this because, you know, first time, why not? So from a research perspective, I really haven't, I would say 10 hours. But I have a good grasp on the game. I know exactly what to do. It's just I haven't sequenced it enough times. Which is my fault. I should do that. But thankfully, like, the order here doesn't matter too much because you would have to do it at some point anyway. Like, all of that has to be done at some point. I just don't know if routing matters yet. Because the enemy I'm going to fight, the boss here, dies in 2 hits, so that's not too bad either. Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm curious. Does it look easy? That's the first question. Oh yeah, you should have seen me last night. It's like, oh yeah, I skipped this thing. Whoops. Okay, so when they are forced to retreat, you ask them for info. They give you info and say, hey, our base is located in this area. So you gotta go to the base. Like, cool. So now we're inside of a dungeon. And then we're going to go up here. And now, I have not tested this yet, so we're going to test it live. Here's Paul. Being a stupid thief bandit man. Dummy. He needs to go back to Nina. So here comes the test. Here's the ultimate test. Do I have to clear this area? I've never tried it before. I always clear this area. But we're going to find out right now. for the future. Tried to get me. I saw you. You tried to get me. No, ma'am. All right, so Paul should be with Nina now, hopefully. Of course. I wonder, I might have messed this entire thing up, so we're going to learn this now. Okay, so the second live test is going to be, does Paul show up after the next person that you beat? Or do I have to clear this dungeon? I've always cleared the dungeon, so I never actually tested this. Woohoo! The boss is dead. Hooray! The evil is defeated. So you see there are no more pirates. And we told Paul to, kick rocks. Was Paul going to keep being a menace to society because we didn't clear the area? Maybe. So now that we're like, skedaddle punk, and then we killed your boss, now he's going to be like, hey, I'm here. Hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm Paul. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so I totally screwed the pooch on this one. I'm very sad now. That's okay. Backup strats. I don't need Paul to kill Forneus, but Paul makes Forneus significantly easier. Oh, I can continue. Paul does about, well, one, Paul kills all regular enemies with Millionaire. And Paul does like 6,000 damage on Forneus after Nutcracker is used by Nora. So my DPS is taking a pretty hefty hit there. However, I think Forneus dies in 2 turns anyway. So I don't think we're in that big of a pickle. It's just like a time loss. Also, I forgot my button that skips splits here, so we're just going to let it ride. For you, Recluses, if you like magic users, Bei Main Yang is a Shoryu user, and then Yang inside of Zuan. He is, I forget his, but he's also a magic user. So that's 2 right there. Volcano's a Shochu user, or Shucho user, just like Charles. And then Thomas and Undini are Gimbu naturally. And we're also about to meet another Gimbu character, but we're not going to pick him up. And that is the Lobster. There's also a Gimbu character who is literally a snowman. We don't get them in this run because we don't need to go to that area. Muse, who is in the bed in Pedona, Old Town Pedona, she is the best. I forget what moon magic is called, but she's the best moon magic character because she has a high affinity for it. But you'd have to teach it to her. It'd be level 1, and then you'd have to build it up. All right, everyone. The Vanguard. It is moving. So now we need to go and, get closer to the evil that is known as Forneus. And the reason why it's really helpful to have Paul is the Forneus region is lengthy. So it would have been nice. However, we will survive. Hello, crabs! Please stop running from me. So the crabs actually know the location of Forneus' palace, which is why Forneus summoned a water dragon to defeat the crabs. Normally, you'd go and fight the dragon and get some cool gear and stuff. However, that is not a requirement to go and whoop on Forneus. So we learn about the secret location, and then we leave. When you teleport or travel to the Undersea Palace, you have to activate it twice so that the Vanguard will go into submarine mode. And now we're going to descend into the depths of the Occidental Ocean to find the Undersea Palace. At which point, we will then be inside of Forneus' domain, and then we will make our way to Forneus through like 15 doors because, you know, torture. Welcome to the Undersea Palace! Also, do note that the different Sinistrals actually use elements. Oops, didn't mean to walk into that twice, but I did. So if you have different armor to block elements, you have a better chance of fighting against them. In this scenario, Forneus is water, so if you have water immunity, that will help you for the majority of things. Does not stop everything, because Forneus is a jerk, but it will help. In this scenario, I'm not playing it safe, so I'm not doing that nonsense. However, Herman is always immune to magic, so it doesn't matter. If you walk in the center of that, the statues will come to life. Okay, so here are Forneus minions. They move really fast, and there's a lot of them. So I usually wind up running into one, at least. But, you know, sometimes I play well. Also, I expected to get into 2 fights there, but I got into none. Time save, yes! Okay, these statues will come to life. And I think there's like 6 more rooms to go. And here's where Paul would be helpful, because Paul would one-hit that bish. But that's okay. Oh no. Oh no. I also have not talked about field effects, but I don't have anything that drives it, so it's fine. But if you see elemental stuff in the foreground, we're under a field effect. In this case, we're constantly underwater. If there's any type of water effects that the characters have, it will take effect when that field pops up. So if you have like Blessed by Gimbu, then you will gain regen based on the water field. Sort of like Yu-Gi-Oh! You get bonuses for being that type. There is Gimbu armor inside of this palace. So if you grab that, you have a better chance because you'll be immune to water and you'll get water regen. Yay. In this case, we're just going to strong arm Forneus and pull its teeth out, hopefully. This is the room before Forneus, so we're going to do a setup. And I hope I didn't break this run. Look, it's a fish! Now note, there's a second version of the Sinistrals later, and they do not look like the same beasts that you're seeing. The only one that even looks closely similar is Bune. Oh look, Ellen got knocked out again. Surprise. Well, that's a rude attack. Bye, Ellen. Oh, I feel bad for Ellen. I actually don't know how much health Forneus has. I know it's much more than Alice's, but I don't know the threshold here. Oh, we went first. Nice. Game over. Bye. Okay. I hope I didn't break this, because if I broke it, then we'll just stop. Paul was supposed to appear after the first Sinistral, but I believe it's now after you talk to him, it's the Sinistral you beat after that. Also, if you look at Herman's outline or design, you'll see that he has black hair now. That's because Herman has now transformed. Herman has regained his youth, and his name is now Black. Yay, Black! I already did that. Goodbye, Ellen. I knew you well. Okay, the run has been salvaged. Alright, we have our final party. Just doing a quick check of everything. Okay. We are good to go. I'm just going to drop this stuff off. That way I don't have to deal with it later. Oops. Didn't do that, but that's okay. Okay, so it is now side quest time. One more side quest to set up my party. So there is a condition here. Your main character needs to have 250 health or more. At that point, you can go into get the matriarch that I would use to increase human or black damage. Now Paul goes in front for the super speed boost, and Paul is very fast. Oh no! Look at Muse, she's like purple in the face. At this point, you're not able to go into the dream state with more than 4 people. So you have to pick the 4. So we picked the lowest health people besides the main characters. So Khalid, Nora, Lack, and Paul. Ward and Rook have the highest stamina, so that's why I leave them out. They'll gain health more easily than everyone else when we do the grind. Actually, on one of my runs, Ward wound up having more health than Rook, which is crazy because Rook's stamina is out of this world. So now we have a party switch, which is fine. I can't do commander mode right now, but I can still put Paul in front. First things first, we have to go inside the same door 3 times, which will allow us to pick up the 3 treasures. The 3rd treasure is what we're here for, the silver gloves. This is what powers up... No! Come back. This is what powers up Charles and gives him his strength and dexterity back. However, it gives the double attack ability to my team, which is what I need. And the double attack... Oops, I did not mean to do that. Oh no! I got this. I can do this. There we go. So I'm going to give it to Herman, or Black. Cool. Now we got to do some shenanigans. So in this room, we have all these people. This is what has worked for me, so I'm just going to keep doing it. We have to fight all the enemies in this room. We talk to the top right person, they disappear. Defeat all the enemies in the room. Then we leave, go back in, top right person one more time. Leave, go into another door, top right person a final time, and then we can go talk to Muse. That's what has worked for me. All the stuff in the dream world does not stay with you, so if you want to grind this enemy, you could do that. They always drop a Taper's Teardrop, which is a full party heal. So you could just mash it out. Now note that Paul being in front, Paul's attack only takes 2 SP, so it is just a piece of cake. And this is, free HP for my characters who don't have high stamina, always hoping that they gain HP after the fight. Cool. Leave the room, go back in. Top right person. Leave, we're in a lower area. Go inside this room. Top right person. Leave, we're in the same spot. Go up the stairs. Look, it's Muse. Hi, Muse. Poor Muse, trapped in the dream. Good thing we're here to save her. So now we have to take up the Dream Eater. Now remember, Muse has affinity for moon magic, so what's about to happen is she's most likely going to cast a spell. If the boss transforms before she attacks, she will one-hit the boss. That's just how it works. The only thing she has equipped right now is Shadow Bolt, because that's the default spell for magic. Look, it's a Dream Eater. This is a special boss. It moves, and it has cool music. Damn, 5,800 with Paul. See, this is why Paul is so good. He would accelerate fights. Okay, so unfortunately, we will not get to Muse. Instead, we will just get a kill. And you can see now Black does significantly more damage because the gloves are on, so the first axe is a swing, the second axe is an art. Oh look, Muse is going next. Shadow Bolt. Bye! GG. So we've saved Muse's life. Now you can recruit Charles and Muse into your party. Muse comes with nothing. She has no SP, no MP, no weapon levels, no magic. So you can literally tailor her to anything. Not for me. Not at this point. But she was in my first party because I was like, I gotta get this ship moving. The text says that the items from the dream world fade away, but the one item that does not fade away is the silver gloves. Just checking, giving everyone their final gear. Yay us. So we are set for the end of the game, gear-wise. So first things first, we're actually going to give Paul Millionaire. That way, if I get into fights before I grind, he'll just snipe them. Maybe. But then I'm actually going to get to my grind location. Now, it's going to take me a little bit because I should do a side quest to figure out how to get to the Fire Temple, which is where Alnus is located. However, if we run around enough and manipulate the screens, we should be able to get to the palace, or the temple itself. But we'll see what happens. I've gotten it in like 6 screens before. Other times took me like 15 minutes. So we'll see what happens. The butterflies are supposed to help you get to the temple, which you will learn about if you rescue a fairy, Peony, and then go to the fairy village. But that can take quite a long time. You got to get to the fairy village, talk to Peony, she'll tell you the fairy, you leave, go back to the forest, then follow the butterflies. But if you guess the correct butterfly, you might be able to get there very quickly. Please. So this is the way to the fairy village. I don't want to go that way right now in this speedrun. I will accept my fate here. This plant always gets in the way. I might have to do 3 fights for this. It was hiding from me. I got snuck. Oh no! A dead end! Oh look, it teleported me somewhere else because it's a maze. Alright, one more on the left side. We should be close now. Because the areas are moving. They're not in sync anymore. So should find it in a couple more screens. This is one that's worth investigating. Like, can I sequence it? I bet I could. Alright, I'm going to follow one of the butterflies now. So we're following red, blue, yellow. So there's yellow. Nope, because that's a dead end. So I'll do red twice. Hopefully. This is what got me last time. I was like, man, I cannot get this without, you know, following the fairy pathway, which I don't want to do. Gross. Red. Hey, that works. Is red the correct way? This is where I decide, I'm like, I bet if I go up, that is the fire temple. If I go left, it loops me again. So I'm gonna do a safety save real quick, just in case. Also, Paul only has 144 HP, so we are in the danger zone. Okay. Oh, wow. We finally found it. Fire Fortress, here we are. Only took forever. Okay. So now the party starts. I'm firmly believing that 500 health is what I need to get to. You know? I truly don't know, because I don't like to risk it. So I should decide. Because I'm thinking in my head, like, if the final boss does, what, 300 damage? Definitely more than that, but if the majority of attacks are 300 damage, I can handle that. But I need to be able to withstand at least 400. So I aim for 500, knowing that I'll probably get into a few more fights and potentially roll health higher. I'll get into at least 4 fights where Paul has a chance to get more health. So I'll think about it. But I've been sitting on 500 as my default. This is on purpose because this enemy is guaranteed. This is the enemy I grind on. It's quite high level. But there's a room for them, so it's even better. There's 5 in every room. So I just go in the room, fight 5, leave, go back in, repeat, come back in. Hopefully an hour. But right now the benchmark is on Paul. So if you look at the health, Paul is 174. He's very behind. So once Paul hits 500, that's like go time. Also, I need to change my attack because Millionaire is too slow. I haven't tried this yet, so let's just do a quick test. I have to sneeze. Okay, excuse me. I'm gonna try this attack. If this kills, I'm gonna be so happy. Thank you. So, quick knock. If it kills, I'm gonna be super happy. Darn. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to my other attack. What I get? Hey, I got health on Paul though. Can't be upset if I get the health up. Oh wait, Plasma Shot. Plasma Shot is faster than Multi-Shot. Multi-Shot is the strongest, but it has a bit of an animation to it. I've had Paul miss Plasma Shot before, so I will be very sad if I miss. Probably should have kept that to myself. But it's all good. There is another place. So basically, one thing to keep in mind, spark level. So I'll ramble about spark level for a second. I don't have all the abilities unlocked in my New Game Plus universe. I don't have all the arts. But I don't need all of them. That's not in my care. I don't care right now. Paul is very good at learning arts. He also has bow affinity. So if you want to learn bow arts, get Paul and let him go into action. I got, on my first playthrough, I learned all the bow arts through Paul. I'm only missing one. It's called Id Break. Because his affinity does not learn it easily. Which is the only one that is like, okay, fine. But he can learn all the powerful ones, so I said it's cool. Nora's pretty good in general. She's an axe affinity character, but it works decently for clubs. So you can use Nora for clubs, for bows, for axes. Herman is an axe character as well, so just give Herman an axe and let him go to town. Then Ward is good with great swords. So what I did instead was I recruited Leonid, who is good with EPs, and said, hey, go for it. So there's a little bit of trade-off there with characters, but sword arts I would definitely recommend because the damage output on Doppel Slasher is wild. Bow is good, as you're seeing here. Bow is probably the number one. And then there are a few status things. So like Lance is cool because of Giant Swing, which is an AoE attack. You can also learn like Triumvirate, which is a very high-end attack. You can also learn, I forgot what it's called. They jump up in the air and throw their spear down. Something. I don't know what it's called. But those are strong. And then you also can learn Double Dragon or Dual Dragon, which hits in a horizontal. So it can hit like 3 enemies at a time. But they also have an attack that lowers the stats of an enemy by 5. I, through testing, found that using Nutcracker was better than using the stat down on the spear, which is why I don't use Peony any longer. Even though Peony has like amazing offensive stats, Peony has like 22 strength, 21 dexterity, 25 speed, but pretty low stamina, so she doesn't gain health very quickly. But again, you don't need like 900 health, you need like 500 to 600. The other thing is, because of Peony being a monster or a creature, she comes equipped with something that cannot be removed, and that makes her weak to air stuff. So enemies that use like Windblade or the Wind Magic, that actually is super effective against you. Rook also has something that cannot be removed. I think that makes him weak to fire, maybe. But he's a tank, so who cares? And then Leonid has something that cannot be removed either, but it's the equivalent of the Arcfiend armor, so it's pretty good. The only problem is, because it's a suit of armor, Leonid can't use gloves or helms or boots. He can only equip accessories. So you give him like the expert ring or the Fang amulet or a ring of fending. Like, you just give him defensive stuff. Leonid's pretty tanky. There are also some pretty cool characters, very funny characters. Like, there's a superhero character, actually 2 versions of a superhero character. I won't say their name or give spoilers, but they exist. There's also, I mentioned the snowman. He's cool. There's the lobster. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and then there's one guy who is like, his family is like the richest in the land. And he is very good with magic. I used him as a magic user in my first playthrough. There are also the main characters, so if you want to leave those folks in your party, you absolutely can do I recommend some of them. One thing to note, your characters will always gain something. At least one. If there's no, we'll say, growth. If there's no growth on any character after the battle, your character with the lowest HP will gain 1 HP. And it's just a safety net because you have to gain something after the battle. So if you see just Paul move, he's just gaining 1 HP. Nothing special. But if you see Paul move and someone else move, then he's getting his regular stamina boosted health. It's interesting. This is a way to bypass Leonid's no HP growth mechanic. Leonid, a vampire, can't gain more health than he has. But conveniently, Leonid has 666 HP because he's evil and undead. But you can force Leonid's health higher if everyone has more health than him. And there's no growth after the fight. He's forced by the game's mechanic to get 1 health. I think like my Leonid, when I beat the first file, he had like 696 health. $500 health is the goal. This is because, so a little background, how the rest of the game works is you're going to fight a series of very difficult monsters, because Endgame, and this is why this game is so hard to beat, because you don't know what you're going to come up against, and you reach a cannot leave area of the game. So once you go in, you cannot leave. So you need to make sure you have everything ready to go. Fine. But also in the final 2 areas, the first area, you immediately go into a boss fight with one of the 4 dragons, and that dragon is going to rip your face off, period. That's where I got stuck. The dragon is extremely hard. I think it hits like 400 damage to everyone, but I'm also using troll stones, which makes me weak to fire. So I think it pretty much uses blaze and kills half my party on the first turn. Fine, whatever. Fine. That's fine. You win that fight, then you have to go through the rest of the area, and you're fighting like a souped up version of every single enemy you can find. So you find a souped up plant, a souped up 3 sorcerers, you fight 2 undead dogs, Cerberus, like you fight a whole bunch of really strong monsters. So you have to be equipped to take on all of those and whatever they throw at you. Or power overwhelming, which is what I'm going to do. After that, you are in the final area of the game. You cannot leave this area either. Yay. And you have a choice. You can either immediately go to the final boss and fight the fully powered version, which is an achievement on PS4. Or you can take the Wimp Road, which is what I do, and take out the 4 Sinistrals again. This time, they are significantly harder and way more deadly. So if you thought Forneus was a jerk before, new Forneus can literally one-hit your entire party. Because Forneus knows Giant Swing, which is awful. Or you can fight Aunus, and Aunus has a fire aura. If you physically touch Aunus, my characters take like 400 damage on a reflected attack. Then, of course, Aunus attacks again, and then he kills you. So, it's not fun. Oh, I'm out of SP. Whoops. That's okay. That's a quick fix. And we continue! So yeah, I'm rambling now, but I'm almost done. I missed one, but it's okay. I'm trying to think. Now, this, if you're familiar with Saga games as well, you do later on learn to dodge enemy attacks. Not all of them, but some. And those are called wards. They're very helpful. The final bosses have some very high-end wards. The problem is, when you beat them, you have to master it in that fight. So there is I don't know the chance percent, but there's a chance after learning something, you can instantly master it. So there are 2 of the end bosses have a rolling slash type of attack. So you have 2 shots to master it. That's the one I highly recommend getting because Giant Swing is not a joke, and neither is the actual attack called Rolling Slash. I mastered it, so I'm good. That's why I always put it on. I don't know the real name, but the ward name is called Rolling Slash. But they also do other things too, like one of the bosses uses Pheromone, which causes your party to charm and attack each other. I've learned the ward for that. There's also Trample, where many bosses, many of them, will just jump up in the air and land right on top of your character and do like 600 damage. I have the ward for that. Net is a good one to learn as well. A lot of enemies use basic nets, but one of the nets is called Ectoplasm Net, and it is a one-hit kill move. So if you learn to just dodge all nets, that one is included in that package. And then the final one I have is Hypnosis, only because a lot of enemies in the beginning use Hypnosis. It's also one of the main attacks in the Dream World. So you just have, free dodge of sleep. And you don't have to equip anything, like gear. I'm gonna multitask this now. That was a good one. Okay, so this is not scary, but in danger news, Paul almost has as much health as Nora now. They're both under 400. So it might shift to Nora being the person to monitor. And I think it's like, I'd have to check it, but I think Nora has 12 stamina and Paul has 13. So they both have a pretty terrible time with gaining stats. Meanwhile, Rook has like 26 stamina and Ward has like 23 and Herman has like 18 or something like that. So the boys, the other boys, they just be beefy as heck. That was a good one. I love when, like, 3 or more characters get HP up. It's very nice. Also, one thing you're not seeing because of the stats being so high, the likelihood that we get a weapon skill increase is astronomically low. I think it's actually impossible at this point. The only way to get it is through the high-end bosses. Like, in, let's say, the past 5 runs, the only time I gained weapon skill up is from the final 4 bosses. So it's actually pretty good because I know for a fact the focus is going to be like 98% of the time we're gaining HP, and then 2% of the time we're gaining SP. But that SP growth is usually on Herman because he has the lowest SP of my party. But again, that percent is very tiny because Herman is also high SP anyway. It's just not as high as, say, 160, which is, I think, that's Paul's range. I don't recall. I'm trying not to look. Like, normally when I'm playing, I'll do some checking of stats and stuff, but speedrun, so trying not to do that. Okay. It is my prediction that we are floating around the 410 HP spot. Maybe? So we're gonna hope that it's like 15 more fights. 2:30. Speed done by 2:30. 2 hours, 30 minutes on the clock. Wow. We're pretty close. Yeah, at this point, Rook almost has 600 health. Meanwhile, everyone else is slowly approaching 500. That's a good comparison of how tanky Rook can be compared to everyone else. Okay, 2 more for Paul and Nina, and then I'm going to stop the grind. So yes, 2:30 I think is a pretty good time. I think it could be a little faster, honestly. Number of fights are going to factor into speedrun. Number of, encounters. Also have to keep in mind just like small efficiency losses. Like not getting pollen time. I also think I should not boat to Yarmouth because the bandit side quest takes us to Yarmouth on that. So that's one that I have in my head, but I didn't route yet. So I know there's a chance to make this pretty fast. Also, do I really need 500 health? Can I make it with 450? Can I make it with 400? Can I just go in with no health at all? That's not possible. But, decisions. Oh, last one, please. Thank you. Alright, check. Oh, I am off. I thought I was closer to that. We'll do one more. I'll aim for 475. Next thing you know, I get all the way to the final boss and then I get one hit. It's also not the final boss that I'm the most worried about because the past 3 times I fought the final boss, it did not even go into its crazy form. I actually beat it like I did enough damage up to a certain point. The next turn it went into crazy mode, and then the next turn after that I killed it. So I should be able to. Alright, we're just gonna go for it. Yes, that should be fine. So we're going to get ready for some action. This is gonna just be a bum rush to the final boss. Here we go. This would be Aunus's minion, but much harder than the others because it's one big monster instead of minions small. But it goes down all the same. Okay, let's talk about the end game, since I'm going to push through this rather quickly. This is the... Oh, I shouldn't have done this fight the way that I did. Some people are gonna die. Whoops. That's okay. Oh well. People are gonna die because of the flame mantle that it has. If I physically touch it, I'll get hurt. So, Nora and Black are gonna get beat up. But it's okay. So, here we go. After you beat the 4 Sinistrals, we learn that there is a 5th gate. Gas! And so we are then going to venture east into the desert and figure out what needs to happen. We've already gone east through the desert, so we're just going to go back and learn. Oh, I beat him already? Wow. Okay, damage. Anyway, we learned that the sister area of Zhuan, called Huang, actually has the gate behind it, or within it. So we attack that area, we fight like 15 monsters, we take out another dragon. There's 2 dragons, one at the start, one at the end. After doing that, then it is our time to shine, because we go into the final area and we take on the boss. Yay. Alright. Now that that part's done, we have to go inside of Loran Castle and talk to Mikhail. Mikhail informs us that Bune's lair is past the fog of Mount Taftan. If you do not talk to Mikhail, the fog will not lift. If you are playing as Mikhail, you need to do army fights until a person tells you that Bune attacks. So then Bune actually attacks you directly. You get into a fight with her minions. And then you can go to Mount Taftan. So Mikhail's is slightly different than everyone else. This is probably the least pleasant to run through, which is why I save it for last. There's a lot of jumping, maneuvering. I think there are also forced encounters. So you have to fight the enemies regardless. And then there's one forced encounter before the actual boss. Whoops. Oh, I already beat Alnus. Whoops. But not too well versed in tracking my splits. Alright, so we're gonna set up camp by keep going into the mist, the fog here, and then you just run through the fog, and then, wow, we're in Bune's lair. Yes. So for some wonderful reason, the birds are only at the very beginning, and then the likelihood of me running into one is commentator curse. But anyway, that's the life. Them's the dreams, yo. Wow. See there, I just learned a ward. Look at me. I don't even know the name of the ward, but we'll... I hope I just master it right here, because then I don't have to think about it. Did not master it. So whatever it is, I will lose it forever. Or until the next time someone sparks it. So those pulsing holes... out of context. Those pulsing holes are forced encounters, so you do want to avoid them. But there are some that are in the way regardless, so you do have to fight. Those pulsing holes. Insert that vine about Magic School Bus, because that's what it looks like. What's that, Keisha? Ooh, girl, that's up. Okay, there's the first one. And then here's the second force encounter, which is not that pulsing hole. Instead, it's just 3 enemies that look different. Now, Bune is very interesting. She's also super mean. So what we have to keep in mind for this fight is Bune has health bars based on her forms that are available. So there are 3 monster types that are floating with her. As you deal damage, they unlock. And that's her, form changing. Oops, don't walk in that hole. Of course. I fell into the trap. Oh, HP, go! Plot twist, the Child of Destiny. Remember Sarah? Well, there's another Child of Destiny called the Young Boy right there. And they are responsible for restoring harmony to the universe for 300 years. They're not allowed to have 2 Children of Destiny at the same time. There's only ever been 1. So we have a little bit of a dilemma here, but all good. So she's not actually down. One of her heads is coming alive. Same thing here. Once the 3rd head unlocks, then her remaining health is available. Now we can kick her butt. Oh, that's not nice. Rising Earth will hit the front 2 characters, but it drops my damage by half. Wow, she almost took out Mora. This might still be a defeat, though. I still might be a win off of this. Okay. So yes, with 2 Children of Destiny, Sarah is like, hey, I'm going to close the gate now. You, get out of the way. So she shoves the young boy out of the way. Okay, fine. And then she goes to the final area where the abyss is located. We're technically supposed to recruit the young boy at this point, but my party is full, so the young boy can kick rocks. Bye, Sarah. So we're going to locate the final gate, close it, and get ourselves to, or not close it, leave it open so we can get to Sarah. Enter cutscene where we learn about the matriarch and getting to the east through the sands and all that fun stuff. Yes, we're going into the abyss to save Sarah. Thank you. Have a good day. Hey, remember this area? Those who will one day bear the fate of the world, beyond this point lies a treacherous trap set by none other than the Archfiend. Do not approach. From a humble person, the Holy Matriarch. Well, we're going anyway. So here we have the 4 Sinistrals, but they look a little bit different now because that's their true forms. Their shadow forms were at the gates before. Now we're going to the Abyss Gate, the true Abyss Gate. And that is how we win the game. Also how people die because there's potentially 5 boss fights. And if you leave the true boss fight up, she can just lay into you. So I actually beat the final boss with the same setup I'm doing. So it's not impossible, but it could be a little stressful. Alright. We've already gone east, so all we have to do is go to the right area, and we are in game. We go to Zuan. We talk to Bei Mei-Yang. We tell her the story. She goes, oh, that's fun. We need to go into Huang so we can, get things started. But they warn us that there's no turning back once we get started. They're like, okay, this is where it's like, haha, no turning back. Just kidding. They're not kidding. They're not kidding. You cannot leave. Trick here, if you're doing this out of order like I'm doing, when we finish the conversation, you are not ready to go. You need to talk to that man, Yang, and go, hey, we're ready. And then he's like, okay, cool, let's go. Because if you do it beforehand, you won't get anywhere. Now, there is a forced army fight here as well. You can just lose, it's fine. It'll be like, oh, the mission failed. I still don't know what it's supposed to do if you succeed. So I just let it happen. Because it is. Cool. Now that was your go time. You are not blocked at any point until you actually go into the Huang building. So up until this point, everything is fine. Even going in here is completely fine. But as soon as you start, it's over. You're at the end game, you can't leave. So make sure you're ready. Pretty please, make sure you're ready. Also, I have to reorder the party because the young boy was supposed to join, but did not. Okay, that door I just entered, that is end game. We're here at the end game. First things first, we have a forced army fight. Yay. We're just gonna bum rush it. I think they have. I can't remember who has more of what, but I'm pretty sure we only have like 2,500 where they have 4,000. So the likelihood of winning is very small. And it's just a diversion. You're just trying to slow them down so that the team can get inside. The most amount of time I've done for this is 5 hours. Like it says 5 hours passed. I'm like, okay, cool. And then they're like, yeah, you succeeded. But I'm like, I don't know what that means. That's it. Now it's time for Endgame. So you're immediately going into one of the 4 dragons. Dragon Lords are pretty tough. As you just saw, Paul took 276 damage, which is more than half of his health. It's fine. As long as it doesn't use Blaze, we'll be okay. Blaze will hit everyone, Paul will get knocked out. It's probably going to use Blaze. Let's just be honest. Ooh, it didn't. Wow, shock. Ooh, trample. I have the ward for that, so that will not work. And we win. There's a chance to get the Dragon Spear from these enemies. I have not gotten one still. I also don't use spear users, so it's fine. But I always wanted to get a Dragon Spear. It's the rare drop from these, so I think it's like a 2% chance to drop. So you'd have to farm, save reload. Don't pick that one. Pick the one that gives the Will Guard in the Rotten Sea, or gives the Everfrost Blade in the Ice area, or where's the other one? Oh, Khalid's. Khalid has one as well, to get his Kumshin weapon. Also, this enemy tried to use Lifesteal, but I'm immune to having my LP drained, so it did not work. Medusa can turn people to stone, which is mean. She's a high-tier snake enemy. As I mentioned, this is where, the tier of enemies doesn't matter anymore. You're only fighting very strong monsters. So that's why you need to be set up for this, because they too can hit 250 on your characters, or petrify. Now, we don't get the super in-game bosses, which is nice. But, I need a, see that? 474? 396? They're not playing games. That's why you gotta grind, because they'll take you out. And these enemies aren't, super, super tough. But, as you can see, they are super, super tough. Lazy. That did not kill? Ooh. There's a chance one of these characters might get taken down. Ooh, nice block. This is why we love him. This is why he's the tank. This is the giant mantis. This is actually easier than the last fight. This enemy I used to fight, it gives the Koryu armor is behind that, Core U armor gives +1 to all stats and you're immune to fading. Pretty good piece of armor. I recommend getting it. Ooh, Deadly Fumes. Poison? All is poisoned? Okay. The undead enemies are pretty tough, let me tell you. I definitely think in the future I want to put an AoE attack for these multiple monster fights, because I do 2 turns in order to win because of this. They have just too much health. I think there's only 1 monster fight left before the final fight. I think. We're on top of the building now, so we're definitely having a good time. So here's the 2 Cerberus. Their triple hit can kill. Thankfully it hit someone different. Oh, please don't hit Paul. Oh no! Disaster. It's only a disaster because there's a chance to get health easily from this fight. And Paul is down, which means he gets no end of fight stat boost. Unfortunate. That's how it goes sometimes. Remember that we are losing a character because Young Boy must be in the party at the end of the game. So at this point, Ward is getting kicked out. Young Boy uses a sword, so he's the most logical option for me. And you don't know this, so if you go into this without saving first, then you instantly get told, hey, somebody gotta go. And so you kick out someone and all their gear is still on them. Yikes. This dragon is easier than the first dragon. Funny enough. Also, my formation didn't work because Ward's gear is off. So there's no dragon formation to use. That's the only downside of this fight. But it'll get restored when I get Young Boy in my party. Cool. Hwanga's done. And you see that Young Boy is in the party. You know, he walked into the main character. RPG syndrome. Everyone's in the same tile. But he's like, hey, I can't take everyone. Someone has to stay behind. Okay, Ward. Bye. Welcome to the Abyss! That power will heal you completely. So, take advantage. Now, Young Boy has very little HP going into this. So Young Boy is just going to get beat down by these bosses. Hopefully, they leave him alone. So he can just do his little bit of damage that he can do with his sword. But if they don't, it's fine. Oh, forgot about Nora. All right, here we go. Fun times. Wrong way. Ah, it doesn't matter. This is the other thing I should memorize. The order of the bosses, you jerks. So you can see here the enemies they're well, you may not know, but these enemies are very low level. So all the mobs are going to be weak because I haven't done any fighting to boost the battle rank. The bosses, however, are no joke. Starting first, we have Forneus, true form, looking like Poseidon. So Maelstrom's going to do a crazy amount of damage. Young boy is dead. Sorry. Oh, it didn't do as much as I thought. Okay, great. Somebody's getting killed on this next attack. Forneus, I think they all have like 35 to 40,000 health. So it's going to be about 3 turns to win. The thing I'm looking forward to is if Forneus uses Mighty Swing, Mighty Grab on Herman, it won't work. And then Giant Swing doesn't hurt anyone at all. I'm okay with Squall, because Squall doesn't hurt us very much. See that damage? Powerful. Oh look, it's Maelstrom again. Oof! Almost took out Herman. So what we're doing is we're weakening the final boss by taking out the Sinistrals again. Also, that was actually the cleanest Forneus I've had to date. Usually Forneus is killing at least 2 people, so yay me. I just need to find Alnus. Alnus is the toughest fight. This is not Alnus, this is Alice's. But Alice's has the highest damage output. I'm expecting to have 4 dead at any given time from Alice's. That's not to say that it's the hardest, it's just Alnus hits the hardest for sure. Here we go. Alice's used to be a piece of cake, now he's a jerk. Okay, had Herman not blocked that, he would have died. All in Assault can do over 1,000 damage, which is more health than any character can have. Now, what I haven't learned yet is Seismic Strike. He can use Seismic Strike. That does like 500 damage to everyone. So I'm hoping that we can glimmer it and master it. That way, I have it forever. Flailing Spin works because I have the ward for that already. But we might actually win this unscathed. That damage! 7,400! The damage! The damage! Come on, this is power right here. That damage, though! The damage! Woo! Come on. This is why we put Nora in the party with her club. Mind you, you could use anyone, but Nora's the first character I got, so take it. But yeah, that was very, very good damage. This enemy got in my way, you jerk. This is... Oh, that's not good. Please don't go up the stairs. Please don't go up the stairs. Okay, fine. A little bit of a time loss here, but that's fine. These enemies aren't aggressive, so they're not chasing you down like other areas. That's very helpful, of course, because it's easier to dodge them, but if you're on a straight path, it's kind of difficult to avoid running into them. Here we are. Alright, this is my least favorite and seemingly trickiest. Only because my damage output is significantly hindered, since you're not allowed to touch this guy. Well, you can, but you might get burned. So in this, in order to avoid Nora dying, I can't use Nutcracker, which means my damage output is lower. I also can't use 2 axes with Herman because the first attack is a physical hit that touches the enemy. And then I also had to change my art to a throw because most of the axe attacks actually touch the enemy. So you're looking at Rook and Paul to carry this fight. For some reason, Doppelslasher doesn't count as contact, which I'm okay with. Ooh, goodbye, young boy. Just kidding. The Koryu armor prevents fainting, so it's... That was a clean first round. Birdsong is annoying, but not deadly. And then that's the attack. Blaze can wipe after a couple of attacks, so... Bye, young boy. Once again. Alright, this should be the last turn. Heatwave is not deadly. Almost deadly. I hope we get the kill. Please? Paul? Okay. There it is. The first time you've seen it in this entire run. Nora got an Axe Club level up. It's not likely to happen, but when it does, you're like, okay, cool. All that does for me is it just increases damage, since there are no arts that I want to learn. So, I mean, for Nora, it's not really that helpful because she's not my damage dealer. But hey, I'm glad that we got a level up. This area was annoying, but now it's not, because there are no pulsing holes. But the boss is much more difficult now. Check over here back on. What makes this fight difficult is she has an attack called Trinity Blaster, which hits multiple times. But one of them can, I forget what it's called, I think it's like Delta Strike. Delta Strike can do like 800 damage and knock one of my characters out. So she has a lot of effective ways of damaging, and she also has that pillar attack, which lowers my damage. Oh, and gaze, that's cute. Nora's gonna kill someone now, because she's been charmed. That's one of the wards to learn as well. Gaze. Blocking all gazes. Oh, whoops. I didn't remove her art. Good thing I forgot, and good thing she killed me quick. That way it didn't go on for too long. I need Gaze to go on Herman because Herman's immune. Okay, okay, sure. That works. Sure. Also, I don't pay attention to the art that much. She don't got no shoes on. She's just barefooted on these rocks. Her feet don't hurt. She not cold. Brune. There it is. 360 Delta. You're dead. See ya. If you haven't done an HP grind, she's gonna kill you with that. I'm just gonna heal Paul. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Oh no. Her feet are gonna get messed up. I forgot. I do this every time I want to heal Paul. You cannot heal Paul. Why can't you heal Paul? Because Paul has the Mortus, and the Mortus's side effect makes the character undead. You cannot heal undead characters. Whoops. It's okay though. We still won. But yeah, that's one major downside of using the Mortus. It is the strongest bow, but it comes at a cost. So that's why in the final boss fight, we are looking for our buddy, Paul, to never get hit. And if he gets hit, not for a lot of damage, so he can just regenerate. But we are here. It is time. The final boss. I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. So I'm not saving right now because the first thing that's going to happen is Young Boy is going to leave the party. The way that I have my team set up, it doesn't hurt me for him to just simply leave because my other characters have their gear on. Also, this is your chance to use your full party of 5. However, you lose commander mode this way. If you would like to maintain commander mode, you need to switch to a party of 4. Potentially stressful in that regard because a party of 4 is 1 character down, 1 less character to attack, 1 less character potentially take a hit. So you obviously want to have full comfort going in like, I can do this with 4 people. But I have faith in you. You can do it with 4 people. So there it is. Here's our final party. Switch to a 4-person. We're going to do Bulwark. The 2 people in front are on offense. The 2 people in back are on defense. And again, this is why your tanky boys exist. We only have 1 of the tanky boys left, but it's fine. Here we go. So they all have a little saying. If you play with each character, they'll all talk to the final boss. If I'm gonna die today, I couldn't have picked a better place. Let's go. So we run into battle. Except the leader doesn't because he's a coward. I'm just kidding. So this is Romancing SaGa 3's final boss. It has multiple forms depending on how many of the Sinistrals you leave alive, including all of them. However, This is the main form. 356 damage on the first attack. Yikes, that's a lot of damage. And we don't do very much at first because her defense hasn't been lowered yet. It gets lowered when, I say her, I don't know the gender of this thing. Its defense lowers when the abyss is opened. The power of the abyss, the void wing. See, there's ectoplasm net. That's one of the wards we have. No big deal. Wasted turn for that monster, yay. I like the music. Scalding gas is rude. Someone might die from that. Remember that thing I said about, like, not attacking Paul? That's not going the way that we wanted it. That's 3 attacks. Paul's down. Good news is, well, I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want it to happen. I'll say it after. Dang it! Okay, this is fine. So the bosses use Eclipse. This is where it goes into crazy mode, but the biggest problem is there's a field effect that is going to drain my characters. So we're going to drain first, then heal back. So we're at this point, we're not getting our health back from being attacked. So we're pretty much banking on going first and killing the boss at this point. Or if we don't, it can start using Void Wing's attack, and then people die. This is where we start to heal, just in case. Paul went first, though, which is great. So, yes, that is definitely a SaGa speedrunning thing. But this form doesn't have any defense either, so we're doing more damage. Oh, here's Abyssal Wind. People are gonna die. Well, Herman? So the destructive power of the Abyss is increasing. That means we're close. We're close. She's almost down. Nightmare's not good. It can inflict any status effect on the party. But the good news is, the only status effect we don't heal from is poison, which no one has been hit with, so that's fine. Nightmare is not dangerous in that regard. Reaper's Sight, you cannot kill any of my characters, so that sucks for you. I think we won. There, we won. Ah, the button! We did it! Let's go! Let's go! Win! I missed the button, but, you know, whatever, a couple seconds. We did it! Game over! Woo! Honestly, like, the final area takes as much time as the end of this game. It's so long for no reason, and you cannot skip it. But hey, we did it. So, that's my very first attempted speedrun of this game. GG. Woo! We did it. Winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I should take a little screenshot of this. Oops, my bad. So I hope that gives you a little bit of inspo for playing the game. Some of the attacks can be pretty deadly, but like getting Rook is probably one of the best decisions you can make because if even if you grind the game out and you get like 900 health, that only just makes it better for you in the long run. Because Rook is going to, well, if you're doing commander mode, Rook's going to regenerate quite a bit of health. But if you also have Troll Stones or the Royal Ring equipped on your characters, then you're going to get that secondary regen as well. So you can regen like 180 health per turn, for example, which is nice, especially if you block any of the attacks or they use attacks that don't do that much damage, or you have a ward, things like that. So even though like Paul went down every single turn, basically, Herman went down maybe once, like we didn't have to really grind that far into it because we had the damage output to compete. So definitely sparking abilities. Their Hodori Castle, which you can get to from doing the Zweig tournament. You'll go on a quest to get the Holy Grail. Leonid says, if you want the Holy Grail, get to the bottom. After the first forced encounter of Hodori, there are, if you fight enough monsters, you'll eventually see the Putrid Gigant. And that's one of the highest spark level monsters in the game. That's a great place to start because it's only one monster, and you can fight it and try to spark some of these very high-end abilities. Also, if you force enough enemies, and you do, I think it's like 300 battles, if you go to Stanley and talk to the lady in the weapon if you talk to the lady in the West House over here, she'll mention that some monsters appeared in a ruin. So you go to the ruins, and then the forced encounter in that area can be an Asura. And Asura is the highest spark level monster in the game. So you can learn some nice stuff from that. Basically, you fight it, you get some stat up, you maybe learn something, you maybe master something. You just go up one screen, go down, and it reappears. So if you buy like Mind Salts and you get wild herbs to heal your LP and barrier stones, you can just grind that sucker out. That's what I did to get some of my stuff. It also knows pheromone, so if you need to get the ward for pheromone, it has that. I forget what other wards you can get from Asura, but maybe trample as well. But anyway, this game is a lot of all Saga games, pretty much. Figuring out, sparking the right abilities. Please note that yes, some abilities only spark from others. So if you want to get freaking deadly spin, you have to use twist and turn, which is axe, things like that. If you want some of the good martial arts, if you want some of the good martial arts, then you use tumble, which is just learn from punching stuff. Yeah, I'll stop rambling. I'm going to be right back. Thank you for the follow, Reckless. All right. Also, the cool thing about the ending screen after, like a million things have happened, it will tell you, like, hey, here are your in-game stats. So the cool thing with Herman and characters getting skill levels, Herman being super weak doesn't matter because his axe is level 50, which I believe is the cap. Nora's sitting at 42. That's pretty good. I think 40 range is probably ideal. But I believe Rook only has like 38 in sword, which is funny because Rook is one of the highest damage dealers in the game because of Double Slasher. So, yeah, I'm not going to let this run forever. I already got the achievement for this. I have the achievement for Khalid. But yeah, look at Sarah. 43 spear short sword, 47 bow. I've never used Sarah. Khalid, same thing. He's great sword level 50, spear short sword 38, martial art 40. I've never used Khalid like that. So I think it's interesting that your New Game Plus is going to keep adding to their stats, which really just makes it easier for you to play. You're just going to be sitting pretty after like the third playthrough. Which, if you're a achievement hunter like myself, then you'll have to beat it with all 8 characters anyway. So might as well just keep going. But pretty much, like as you saw in the run, once you get the gear that you desire, just withdraw that gear, put it on your people, keep it moving. If there's anything you want to see, I can do that real quick. Let me go ahead and end this. We'll just check in on the game. Yeah, see, I'm 93%. I only have 2 more characters to beat the game with, and then I'm done. Woohoo! Okay. For reference, let's do that. Here's my first... This is so chaotic. This is my first party. The very first time I did this, we have Katarina, 36 sword, 139 SP. We have Muse with 30 in axe. Mind you, she started out with 0 SP, 0 MP, then 5 because I learned magic. She has 30 axe, 21 spear, 16 martial arts, 9 in moon magic. I forget what it's called. We have the fairy, Peony, 130 SP, 37 in spear. We have Paul, who, Paul is good. 136 SP, 36 bow, and then Leonid, 148 SP, 36 in sword. Do you see how this man the hair be flowing, the robe be flowing? Fabulous. Leonid, blouse have rights. Blouse rights. And then gear-wise, so I didn't know, back in the day, 50 hours ago, that I could have done commander mode, but I don't have a way to heal my party, so the Staff of Vivacity is what I used to heal, or throwing bombs with my characters. Also, she doesn't even have a shield on, because I'm a lunatic. None of these people have shields on. Of course, he is giving off Alucard vibes. Yes! Come through, Castlevania! But yes, Leonid is a boss. Leonid also has special magic. But one thing I want to point out, because I didn't think about it until I got here, this moon magic, she has an ability called Shadow Servant, which creates a shadow copy of herself. A lot of the Saga games have this one, I think. A few of them do. And this is just like the win button. So, if you'd like to deal a lot of damage, you can learn Shadow Servant. How you get that one is you go to Zuan, and there's a person that teaches 2 of the schools of magic their strongest ability. The strongest moon ability is Shadow Servant. You don't have to learn it, you can just immediately get taught that. Let me see if I can find a save file to show you. One of these save files has it, right? I don't know. Oh, this will work. That does not work because I'm already inside. Let's see. Katarina is in. Mikhail's in. Monica? Are you in or out? Oh, perfect. Okay. This is Monica. So this is my other party. I use Peony, Rook, Paul, Black. This is where I started to get into the groove of things. So Peony was in, Rook, Paul, Black. Then Peony got replaced by Nora. Peony. Oh, look at Peony's stats. Look at those stats. 21 strength, 22 dex, 25 speed. She's fast. She's strong, and she's a spear user, which is great. Then you have Fat Robin. Fat Robin has 22 speed. Like, yes, he's fast. Let's go. Paul here with 17 speed. Okay, that'll make no sense. Rook is out here with 7 speed. Anyway, Peony is great. Big fan. But in Zuan, you go inside of the shop area. That is not the shop area. This person sitting at the table, there's 2 schools of magic, lunar and solar. Lunar, you can just outright learn Shadow Servant right there. You can't cast it, not yet, because when you learn the magic for the first time, you start with 5 MP, so you got to build the MP up. But it's just sitting right there. Great. And then solar magic has Parhelion, which is cool because it can just block enemy attacks. Yay. So they're both very defensive. The rest of the stuff is offensive. You can, use it at your leisure. But once you teach the magic to the people, you're done. They know magic forever. You can remove the other magic, but the default magic that everyone has, that's what you got to deal with. They're going to have magic forever. So make sure you're confident in teaching someone magic when you give it to them. Also, schools of magic compete with each other just like Saga Frontier 1. So you can't have fire and water. They conflict, for example. The other magic schools, so Gimbu, Shucho, Soryu, I forget the last one, you learn those from beating the corresponding jerk face known as a Sinistral, and then you go talk to the lady in Lance, the one that teaches you about the Void Gates, the Abyss Gates, and then she'll teach you powerful magic. So powerful spells, and then Byaku's the last one. So Soryu, she just has the strongest magic. She doesn't teach you anything else. But this Dragon's Descent magic is the one that drops your LP 1 per turn. So you get your stats boosted, you lose LP, give it to Rook. Let him go burr. You can also learn Revive, which is always good to have. If you played Saga Frontier 2, you know how helpful Revive can be. So, Revive in itself, yay, cool. So you can have pretty strong buffing magic. Even though you lose your crown, having that extra bit of safety is very nice. Byakko is hypergravity. This actually lowers the speed of the enemy, and it's actually very strong. And then finally, Byakko is hasten time, which will give you a speed boost. So the final spells, the 6 I just showed, they are great. They're very nice, but if you're not magic oriented or you don't want to lose your little fancy crown, then maybe you don't want to use it. Because the problem becomes these cost like 10 MP each, so to continuously use some of this stuff, you're going to need more than like 5 MP to do it. And that's it. That is our, we played, we saw, we conquered. Yay. What time is it? Oh, perfect. It's quitting time. So that will be the stream for today. I successfully did my first speedrun. Yay, we did it. Just for awareness of anyone else, I feel like tomorrow or Friday, I will just be done with this game forever because I will get the platinum trophy for it. I'm on Sarah right now, and then I have to do Thomas. So my Sarah file is on the 1 hour 53 minute mark, which, if anyone knows where I was at in my speedrun, I am inside of the fortress. I have my party set up, just like you saw before. Yay me. My formation is set up, just like you saw. I just gotta do the health grind, and then beat the game. And then Thomas, I gotta do it all over again. Oh my gosh, you're right. I should probably try to get a faster speedrun. Okay, fair. Okay, yeah, you're right. That's a fair point. Now, should I keep it segmented? Here's a question. Should I keep it segmented where I only do Khalid runs, or should I switch it to a different character, Because if we just say the game being speedrun, then I can pick anyone. I don't even know who has the fastest Prologue. Who has the fastest Prologue? Let's talk about this. I'm going to go to the main menu really quickly. Okay. So, our characters. So, Katarina. No, that's a fair point. Let me try to get under 3 hours. Let's do that. I think that's a good moment. I'll try it. I'll upload it to YouTube and stuff. So, if we think about the prologue from an efficiency perspective, Katarina, Mikhail, and Khalid join up together and they fight a boss. As soon as that's over, you're pretty much in the clear. The problem is, Mikhail has to do army fights, so he's completely off the table. Khalid has to do 2 army fights before fighting the boss, so that makes him a little slower. And then Katarina's problem is you have to get rid of all of her gear and then set her up to be put in prison. Then when you leave prison, you might run into a monster, so she has no gear on whatsoever. But you can do martial arts with her and just have them kill the boss without Katarina's gear. More on that later. So Katarina has potential. She doesn't have a lot of dialogue in her prologue after Monica leaves. Monica has a really long prologue because she does all the talking with her brother. Nope, with Katarina. Then she leaves. Then she meets the gang. Then they have to run through the forest. Then when she's done, she has to get married off to some dude with Julian. Then she gets kidnapped by a bird. Like, her thing is way too long. So, Monica, you're off. Julian's a little extra because he has to fight a boss with Monica after doing the nonsense. So, Thomas is a bit of a pickle because he has a longer quest line to get to Charles. So I feel like, and I haven't played with him yet, so I don't even know. So then we're down to Sarah and Ellen. Sarah's problem is she is the most important character in the game. She is the child of destiny. So, yeah, I think it's Ellen. I think Ellen is the one. I'm going with Ellen. Ellen! Because Ellen has the same stuff as the others without the nonsense. She gets into a fight with her sister. That's probably the only storyline thing. But she pairs up with Khalid. Then you go to Zweig. Then the journey starts. Ellen and Khalid have the same after prologue movement. The difference is she doesn't have to do 2 army fights. So, okay, I'm going to switch to Ellen. We did it. The next time I stream, it's going to be Ellen time. Thanks for listening to me talk through all that nonsense. But yes, I feel like I know this game pretty well at this point. I could even try to do just a overall playthrough. Like, oh, here's all the stuff in the game. Oh, you want to see me fight the super boss? Because the super boss is awful. The super boss is crazy. Yes, this game has a super boss. Yeah, if you want any assistance with clearing the game, or if you run into any problems, let me know. Like, I could even do a caster run where everyone uses magic, because there is something, I haven't delved into it before, but there's something interesting about fusion magic. There is fusion magic in this game. Using 3 schools of magic causes special effects. I've never done it before. There's no achievement, so I didn't bother with it. So, I do like magic in games, though. Big fan. Anyway, lots to consider. Even like getting Leonid, how to get Leonid, how to... Well, everyone else is easy to get. Leonid's the hardest character to obtain. He's not that hard to obtain, but he's the hardest. Black isn't too bad, as you saw. You just wipe the floor with Forneus with Herman in your party. Rook is super easy to get. You just need the young boy or Sarah in your party. Yeah. I'm done now. This was fun. I'm going to go use the rest of my evening quite foolishly. And I will be back on... It's Wednesday. I've been trying to stream Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. I missed yesterday because of work. So I will come back on Friday, maybe. Sure. We'll see. Well, I aim for Friday. Anyway, thank you, Rick Lisa, so much for joining me on this stream today. If anyone else watched, I appreciate you so much. Don't forget, you can follow me here on Twitch. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at Yatu. And I'm on Twitter at Mr. Yatu, MRYATOUH. Links are in all the locations that are necessary to find me. In the meantime, have a good rest of your week, and I will see you later. Goodbye.